Hey, what's up, everyone? A quick, very impromptu BRAP, by the way. I typically don't go live at on Monday nights at 6:50 p.m., but wanted to go live quickly just to discuss the nominees for this year's 2025 Game Awards hosted by Jeff Keighley. So, look, I will say this: I'm not surprised by the record amount of the amount of nominations that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 received. I'll say that much. So yeah. So anyhow, so we're getting close. We're about a month away from the Game Awards show. It's going to be December 11th at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. And look, this has been a great year in gaming, and I think that the awards, the nominations, and just a variety. I think if you look at Game of the Year, which we'll get into in just a second, it really just for me highlights the flavor, right, of this year in terms of gaming, the artistic spectrum that gaming exists on, and that I feel like not a lot of people talk enough about. We've talked a little bit about the artistic range in video games, but so I'm going to talk about. So I think that the I do think that the Game of the Year nominations are reflective of that, and we'll get to that in just a second here. But look, we're also not just celebrating the nominees. We're gonna on Wednesday, I should say. We're not going to just celebrate the nominees. We'll talk a little bit more in depth on Wednesday. But we're going to question who isn't on the list. Again, this show is just to quickly go over some of the nominees. We'll get into a bit more of our thoughts, the panel thoughts on the nominees on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So again, I'm not going to really get into too much depth. Just kind of do a quick glance over of the nominees of this year. So let me just by the way, do me a quick favor. Eric Chabrata says early BRAP. Yes, early BRAP, very impromptu BRAP. Again, wanted to do just have a quick discussion around the Game Awards 2025 nominees within the various categories. Only going to cover a couple of categories here. And again, we're going to go into more of the categories on Wednesday. So if you want to tune in live Wednesday night and get a bit more in-depth, hear our more in-depth thoughts about the nominees, the different categories, you're going to definitely want to tune in to Wednesday's night show. Again, I was going to do a quick reaction show. I was going to do a live reaction show today, but everyone was doing a reaction show today at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to hold off till later on this evening to give my quick reactions and then do kind of, again, more of a deep dive on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So Eric says, good, because I knew they came out today, but was at work and have not bothered to look them up yet. No, I hear you. All right, so let's get into some of these categories here. Again, I will reiterate, I'm not going to go through all the categories here. We'll go into a few, but again, we're going to really go into more of the 2025 nominees on Wednesday night show, just to get the panel's thoughts on the nominees. So I will say this: there are people that are upset about the nominees and the different nominations for the different categories. Again, if the Keighleys, or some people call it the Keighleys, the award show isn't your bag, and you feel you're throwing on your tinfoil hat and you feel like there's some bias behind it, there are other award shows that you can follow: DICE, GDC, the Golden Joysticks, BAFTA, to name a few. So by all means, please check out those award shows. Seems like every year with the Keighleys, people do tend to get a bit upset about the nominations in the different categories. I've often heard that Keeley's on the take, that he's biased. He's biased against Xbox, which is kind of funny because Phil Spencer sits on the board of the 2025 of the Game Awards show. So anytime I would hear content creators on the Xbox side say things like that, I would just shake my head, because I'm like, guys, Phil Spencer sits on the board. So what are we doing here? All right, let's go into let's just go right into the big one here. Game of the Year. Hold on a sec here. Game of the Year. Oh, it's not pulling up for some reason. All right, let's go back into view all categories. There we go. Game of the year. Here we go. Now, again, no surprise here, by the way, with Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And I predict that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is going to run away with many awards, as it should, in my opinion. Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and again, I'll get into more of my thoughts on Clair Obscur Expedition 33 on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is my favorite game of 2025. Marquise Ramey says this year was crazy. I don't even envy people who had to nominate these games. Yeah, Marquise, that's a great point. Great year for gaming. I mean, yeah, it's I don't envy those who had to make this decision to vote. So again, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is nominated. Again, I am not surprised. I don't think anyone is surprised that this game was nominated Game of the Year. And I fully expect, and I'll get into why on Wednesday night, I fully expect Clair Expedition 33 to win Game of the Year. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is also nominated for Game of the Year. I know it's going to drive people crazy because of Jeff Keighley's relationship with Hideo Kojima. I can only understand that perspective because Keighley's a big fan of Kojima. But nevertheless, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which I did think, I thought Death Stranding 2 was a much better game than Death Stranding. But Death Stranding 2 would be my third favorite game of the year. Donkey Kong Bonanza. The running joke is Nintendo always usually gets a nod. Nintendo gets that, I guess that we got to give one to Nintendo for Game of the Year, right? But yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza is in there. Bonanza. It's actually one of the highest rated games of 2025. You look at Metacritic. Hollow Knight Silksong's in there as well. Hades 2, which I played a little bit of Hades 2. Great game. If you've enjoyed Hades, you'll definitely enjoy Hades 2. And then also, which I thought was kind of a surprise here, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was nominated. Again, one of the top rated games of 2025, but I was surprised to see this year. I thought maybe Ghost of Yotei might squeak in there. But still, nothing against Kingdom Come Deliverance. I haven't played it, but those are the nominees. Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong, another one. That's a small indie game. Game of the Year. So I think it's like I think this shows, right? I'm looking at Game of the Year, at least in my opinion, and let me know what you think in the comment section below in the live chat. To me, this just shows, right, kind of that broad artistic range of gaming, of the gaming industry. And I think it's really I look at this as a celebration of the industry, right? You have the big AAA games. You have Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which seemingly came out of nowhere. And then you have Super Giant Games, who's got a great pedigree of putting out great content. Hades 2 is nominated. Look, and then there's Nintendo. Nintendo is synonymous with great games. Putting out really good quality, high quality games in terms of great gameplay mechanics and great characters, iconic characters. And then you have Hollow Knight, which is a sequel, again, smaller development team. And then you have Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So, I mean, very much, many of these games are all very different, right? And I think that is a testament to the gaming industry. And what I think, too, and I'll get a little bit more into my thoughts on Wednesday, but again, I think it's a celebration of the industry. It's reflective of the different artistic styles, the different types of games that people play, and just that broad spectrum of creativity that we see in gaming, something that I don't think is discussed enough. So let me know in the comment section below in the live chat, which one of these games, which 6 of these games you think might win Game of the Year. But again, I said earlier, it's going to be Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Again, personally, it's my favorite game of 2025. It's one of my favorite games of this generation too. Oh, let me go back to, I went back too far. I'm not going to go to best narrative. Let's see here. Let's go to best action game. The Keighley's, this website's giving me issues. There we go. All right, best action game. Here are the nominees: Battlefield 6, Doom: The Dark Ages, Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Shinobi: Art of the Vengeance. I have played 1, 2, 4 of the 5 nominees here um, in this category. Uh, this was a tough one for me. Part of me, there's a little bit of nostalgia factor here with me with best action games, like between Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden 4. This is a tough one. I don't know. I could see Shinobi Art of the Vengeance winning this. And if you want to know why, I'll tell you on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Eastern Time. I'll get into that a bit more on Wednesday night show. But and Shinobi would probably be my, like, a lot of nostalgia here. It really would come down to Shinobi Art of the Vengeance and Ninja Gaiden 4 for me. But I'm going to go with Shinobi Art of the Vengeance just because it's a Sega game. It's an iconic Sega IP. And I really hope that, with Shinobi Art of the Vengeance, that this eventually leads to another Shinobi game. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. The website is acting up right now. All right. Come on, Keely. What's going on? All right, let's do good. Let's go to view all categories. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the award show. Something's going on with it. Here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to get into. It's not letting me get into some of these other categories here. It's just doing the spinning wheel thing. Let me try this. Might have to open a different page here. Yeah, there's issues going on with the web page here. All right, let's try this, see if it works. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't look like the web page is working now. Thank you, Jeff Keeley, by the way. Yeah, it's really weird. It's not working. Well, that is not. All right, let me try this again. All right, let me see if I can go back in and let's see if this works. All right, let me try. JC 2030 says a little disappointed Yote didn't get nominated for Game of the Year, but I get it, it's still mine. Yeah, we'll get into that on Wednesday night. Trying to get back into the Game Awards website. It's giving me a little bit of an issue here. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, I think there's I don't know what's going on with the award show here. Let me try. Let's see if I can. Might have to try a different browser here. Yeah, I think you know what, guys? I think the site might be down. I'm trying a different browser and it's not working. Here we go. Let's see this. Wow, it's not. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the site. Site's not working. Well, yeah, the site's not working. Well, sorry about that. Yeah, website's still having issues. I don't know if you guys. I don't know if anyone else has gone to the website. Is actually on the website now, but no, it's not. It is not working. I cannot get into best action adventure game. Oh, actually, I was able to get to another browser. All right, let me try this now. That's so weird. All right, let's try this again. Sorry about the technical difficulties here. This is not working well either. All right. So we're not gonna be able to go to the website because it's not working. That's so weird. It's so frustrating too because it was just like it was just working like a second ago, and now it's not working. All right, let me go do best action. So we talked about best action games. I'm just going to read this off here because the website's acting up. Let me try one more time here. Oh, now it's working. Oh my goodness. All right, let's hope this works now. All right, sorry about that, guys. Best action adventure game. Death Stranding 2, On the Beach, Ghost of Yote, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, Split Fiction. You know, I would surprise to see Joseph Ayers' Split Fiction run away with this one. I haven't played Split Fiction, but I've heard a lot of great things. Highly rated game. I actually do need to play because Hazel Light Studios make some great games. Play a little bit Indiana Jones. I'm an Indiana Jones fan, so I did enjoy that game. Played Death Stranding 2 on the beach, played Ghost of Yote. But I do think Split Fiction probably takes this one. based on the success Joseph Ferret or Hazelight Studios has had in the past at the award show. My personal pick here is going to be Ghost of Yote, which is my second favorite game that I played so far this year. All right, let's go back to best RPG. All right, best RPG, Avowed, Clair Obscur Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, The Outer Worlds 2. Now I haven't played The Outer Worlds 2 yet. I haven't played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Have played a little bit of Avowed. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Again, look, you guys heard me say it earlier today or this evening. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is my favorite game of the year. I do think that it will win best RPG of the year as well. I think Expedition 33 is going to clean house. All right, let's go to. So we did best action game, best RPG. I'm going to go to two more categories here. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to go on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to go over all of the categories and give a bit more in-depth analysis and thoughts on the nominees for the different categories for the 2025 Game Awards. But I'm going to go to best multiplayer here. Maybe not, because I think the website's acting up again. Yeah, it's not. I think site's having issues again. All right. So, yeah, this site's not working again for me. Sorry about that. I wanted to go to best multiplayer, and then I was going to go to most anticipated game, which I wouldn't be. Yeah, that's just. All right. Well, so going back to Clair Obscur Exhibition 33, it's collected 12 nominations for this year's Game Awards. It's the most in awards history. So, look, do I think it's gonna win all 12 categories? Probably not. But I do think it's gonna win quite a few. Let me see if I can find it here on IGN site. I did want to do best multiplayer: Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain, Peak, and Split Fiction. Look, Split Fiction, another one. Joseph Ferris and Hazelight, they could win here. They could win. Although it'd be cool to see Arc Raiders, a new entry, new IP extraction shooter. I think that'd be cool to see that win. Given that it's a new IP. But I think this is a pretty competitive list of some good games here. They also have best adaptation. So you have the Minecraft movie, Devil May Cry, Splinter Cell, Death Watch, Last of Us Season 2, and Until Dawn. Most anticipated game, which is the one I wanted to cover, 007 First Light, Grand Theft Auto 6, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, The Witcher, and The Witcher 4. And look, I think we all agree here. Grand Theft Auto 6 is probably going to win. Oh, finally, best multiplayer is pulled up here. There we go. This site's really getting on my. This site, unfortunately, is just not. It's getting my last nerves here because it's not working. I've had to click a couple times on the different categories to get them to work. Corey Bass says it shouldn't win all 12 categories. And what if it did, Corey? What if Expedition 33 won all 12? Can you imagine? JC 2013 says, I agree, but it's Wolverine for me personally. Yeah, Wolverine's definitely up there for me as well. But yeah, I think just the juggernaut of GTA 6, and the fact that this is the first Grand Theft Auto since the end of 360 generation. Um, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of pent up demand, I think, for an anticipation of Grand Theft Auto 6. Yeah, Chad, I did try changing browsers, but it didn't work. I was having issues. It's having issues, unfortunately. But well, again, just wanted to quickly go over a couple of categories here. As I mentioned earlier, on Wednesday night, we're going to do a bit more of a deep dive into the nominees for the different categories this year's Game Awards 2025. We're also going to discuss Detective Seeds, who we've had on the show. Just dropped a little bit of nugget of information as it relates to PlayStation and whether or not they'll be scaling back on PC ports. He Seed said that he spoke independently with two people from PlayStation who were on Alex Cotate's team about PlayStation PC initiatives, and he posted some of the highlights of that conversation. So we're gonna dig into that a little bit as well. So, but yeah, what we'll also mention that Sony Interactive Entertainment received the most nominations of any of the publishers at this year's Game Awards show as well. Sony Interactive Entertainment actually had 19 nominations. Kepler Interactive had 13. Kepler is the publisher behind Clair, Obscur Expedition 33, followed by Electronic Arts and Microsoft with 10 apiece. Sega has 7. Supergiant had 6. And Team Cherry had 5. Microsoft did have a really good year in terms of publishing of games. I've said this on this show before too. I think this has been the best year for Xbox Game Pass. So, well, look, that's all I have for right now. Again, just wanted to do a quick rundown, just give my quick thoughts, reactions to some of the nominees for the different categories. Again, didn't go through all the categories. We will do that on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So come back, join us on Wednesday night live with Game Logic and the panel. Hopefully we can get some of the OGs to join us. Slow-mo back slap, B Money, and Gaming Forte. Hopefully they're available. They can join us to discuss their thoughts on the nominees for this year's 2025 Game Awards show. So on that note, that is all I have for right now. But again, please leave me comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about some of the nominees in the different categories. Let me know what you think. If there are any games you feel got snubbed, that's always a conversation around the award show. What game got snubbed? What game should have been there, right? Typically, that's around the conversation. Typically, revolves around game of the year. So, and also do the YouTube thing. Hit the like button, and if you're new, consider subscribing, hitting the bell notification so you're alerted when we go live. Remember, we will be back this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, to do a bit more of a deep dive into the nominees for this year's Game Awards show. On that note, I am out. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you on Wednesday night. Thank you.